My name is Alan Young. I'm a visitor experience assistant here at Cosford. I've been here for 14 years and this is amazing. What we've got here is a Polish or other rank shoulder title. British issue, one of several different designs, but I want to talk about what that actually means. The word Poland on the top, there's an eagle below that which signifies service within the Royal Air Force umbrella, but it's the word Poland. On the 1st of September 1939, Germany invaded from the west into Polish territory. They put up an enormous fight, retreating all the while with the onslaught of Blitzkrieg. At that point, they defended their country. They're moving backwards all the time, and on the 17th of September the Soviet Union invaded from the east. It was at this point where it looked as though it was going to be terminal for Poland, and their armed forces, both Army and Air Force, decided to try and make their way out as best they could. Huge numbers were captured by both Germany and the Soviet Union. A lot of Polish Air Force personnel managed to escape southwards to Romania. Once they were there, they put on civilian clothing, tried to hide amongst ordinary people, and then to make their way somewhere which would be friendly to them. They made their way by sea, particularly to the south of France, to the port of Marseille, and they then joined in the French defence of France against Germany, Blitzkrieg again, until the fall of France in 1940. So they were back to square one again, and it was at that point where they managed to escape from France into the UK, particularly to Eastchurch and Blackpool. It was at that point where most of them were issued with British clothing, and that item there, as I said before, other ranks shoulder title, was what other ranks would have worn, Polish Air Force. We're looking at the symbol of the Polish Air Force. So by late 1940, or even slightly earlier than that, we'd got at least one Polish squadron which had come online for the fighter force, which was 303, very famous squadron. We'd also got several bomber squadrons. This Bolton Paul Defiant actually belongs to 307 Squadron, who were night fighters, and they went on to use things like the Beaufighter and then finally the Mosquito. Originally, when Polish Air Force personnel arrived in this country, they were treated with maybe some disdain, but they'd already been in battle. They were professional, they'd been battle hardened, they'd fought one of the toughest enemies of Europe, Germany. The British authorities didn't really understand that at that point, but soon came to realise that actually they were pretty good, and that was epitomised by 303 Squadron, for example, being the highest scoring squadron during the Battle of Britain. They had quite a number of squadrons, fighter squadrons and bomber squadrons. They fought in most theatres, Europe, Italy. They fought for Coastal Command, night fighters. They did pretty much everything. Traditionally in Poland, every unit has its own banner. So some sort of communication was sent to nuns in Wilno in Poland. Would they like to make a banner for Polish Air Force? And the answer came back, yes, we'll get on with that. So they procured the materials, silks, wonderful things, from Germany. This was all then put together by the nuns and a ladies group, and was eventually smuggled out of occupied Poland in a diplomatic bag to Sweden, and then presented on parade in England. That banner was then handed to each squadron in turn so that they would know that homeland hadn't forgotten them. powerful message. Poland has not forgotten you. Fast forward to 1989, several significant things. The Berlin Wall comes down. There is going to be a Poland all of its own. The banner that we mentioned earlier is handed over on parade to the present Polish Air Force. Much ceremony. The president, as he was then, Lech Wałęsa, actually present on parade to see this wonderful banner handed over. The current version of 303 Squadron that we mentioned earlier, they now fly MiG-29s. On their tailplanes, they actually portray some of their heroes from World War II who flew during the Battle of Britain, for example. We shouldn't forget, as Poland hasn't forgotten.